So we'll go ahead with the AWS load balancer. So what we have covered till now is like we have covered EC2, how it works. We have covered EBS, we have covered the AMI portion, we have covered the EFS. So basically it's the EC2 and its volume dynamics we have covered. One second, someone joined, I think. Yeah, so we'll continue. So today we'll cover what? Today we'll cover the load balancing part. Okay, because in a it is doing it's not yeah because in a practical scenario, suppose if you have set up a server, you want your traffic to come up, right? And for that you need a load balancer. So you are going as per the architecture. How a simple architecture used to be here. You first set up the server, you then set up the how the requests will come to the server so that people can access their websites or any other applications. Okay. So let's go into the load balancer portion. Okay. So I have kept some diagrams which will help you in understanding. Okay. So the simple concept of load balancing is to balance the load. Okay. Suppose 100 requests are coming and you have 10 servers. So it will distribute the traffic equally to each of the servers. It will not be like one server will contain 30 requests, one server will contain 20 requests, and one server will contain 50 requests, so it becomes full 100, and other servers will 0 requests. So it used to balance the load equally. Now, how it used to balance? Okay, so let me go ahead with this. Okay, so this also you can't understand. Okay, so yeah, here. So these are the EC2 instances. Forget about this VPC, forget about this region. Okay, region you can consider VPC. What is VPC? Forget about this. Okay, just consider whenever you are creating a EC2, it used to reside inside a VPC. Now, what is a VPC? I will let you know later because I told you that AWS consists of two parts. One is pre-VPC and post-VPC. Okay, so these are all consists of pre-VPC. Okay, so EC2 instances. So there are three EC2 instances. Okay, and there are six EC2 instances actually. Now, what it is happening here is like request is coming. Who has joined? One second. Okay, probably mistakenly did.
Sorry to interrupt, Rishabh. Are
Yeah.
you sharing your screen?
Oh my God. Yeah. Please let me know. Okay, if I'm not sharing my screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I used to forget. Fine. So this is the architecture diagram which I was trying to show. Okay. So suppose this is the your Amazon Cloud account, and inside that there are six EC2 instances. Okay. Forget about this VPC. As I told you, what is a VPC? I will let you know. Inside a region, there used to be the availability zone. So region, what I told, is like a country, and availability zone are the states where the physical servers are present. Why each region has minimum three availability zones? Because of high availability. Suppose due to some natural calamity, one AZ is going to be down, the AZs will be over, and all are connected with each other. Okay, it's not like the traffic is coming here, it will not go there. If it is down, it will go there directly. So of course it's connected. Okay, how it is connected, that you don't have to take care. That's AWS will. Okay, so the next thing is like now there are six EC2 instances. So suppose I'm hitting one website called google.com. So in all the servers, google.com is present. Okay, I am hitting, you are hitting, and 100 more people are hitting. Okay, so it will go, the request will go in round robin fashion. Now, what is the round robin fashion? So, suppose it's going to the first instance 0 or traffic 1. First request is going to EC2, second request will go to this EC2, third request will go to third EC2. Again, fourth request will go to first EC2, fifth will second, sixth will third. Again, so in this way, the equality will be maintained always. It will not be like two requests will go there, three requests will go there. Round robin fashion. So it's not simultaneously, it will be one by one. First request, second request, third request. Okay, like this. Okay, so in that way, it maintains the equality. So now there is one interview question like how the AWS maintains the balance. So AWS has its internal architecture that it can maintain the balance by distributing the traffic in a round robin fashion. Okay, and how it is happening the round robin, you don't have to take care. That AWS is doing. Okay, and if you see, this is the web tier. It's written something called web tier. Now, what is a web tier? Okay. So web tier is like if you are hosting any website, suppose citibank.com. Okay. I'm taking the example of citibank.com because I worked in this Citibank. Okay. For Citibank, not in for Citibank. So whenever I used to take session, I used to recall my earlier incidents. Okay. So citibank.com. Now citibank.com you're hitting, right? It's going to the application. It's going to give you the login page or the sign up page, whatever. Okay. So before going to the login page, it's always hitting some web server because your website, whenever you are deploying any application, any web application, it has to be in a web server first. Okay. Until unless it has web server, you cannot host an application. Okay. So there are many kinds of web server. Nginx is one kind of web server. Tomcat is one kind of web server. Okay. So EC2 you can make it as a web server where you have to deploy the Nginx. Okay. So these are the web servers and these are the app servers. Okay. So it's hitting the web server first, and from these instances, the request will go to the app server where the login page will open. So these are what? These are where your application is sitting. And this is the you can say this is the platform, okay, where your trains are present. Okay. So first you are going to the platform and then you are entering into the train. Right. So web server is the place where you will hit your traffic first, and then from web server it will automatically go to your apps. So this architecture is a two-tier architecture. Okay, to this. Okay. Now it's coming to the DB. Now what is the DB? Suppose EC2 instances your app server. Okay, you are entering into your app server. Now you are putting your what username and password. Okay, you are clicking on submit. Okay, so somewhere it's verifying, right? Your username and password is correct. Okay, where it's verifying? So mostly it used to be the DB servers. Okay, so it's connecting to DB. Okay, there's some encrypted algorithm. Okay, they used to decrypt it internally. Okay, Rishabh is there. Password is 12345. Okay, it's okay, fine. Okay, then it used to send the response back to the EC2 that okay, you are correct. Go ahead and log in. Okay, so in that way, this authentication happens. Okay, and this when the DB thing is coming up, this whole architecture is called three-tier architecture. Okay, because there are three layers. First layer is what? First layer is your front-end layer. Okay, which is your web server. Okay, and the second layer is your app layer. Okay, middleware layer. Okay, third one is your DB layer, database layer. So hope you understand like how the load balancer is balancing the load. Now I will come directly like how the load balancers are there in AWS. So you can buy load balancers as well. Earlier when there used to be no cloud platforms, right? People used to buy load balancer, people used to buy servers. There is a very famous company called F5, still is there, who used to sell load balancers. But now once AWS is coming, AWS, once you subscribe the AWS, okay, it's used to give its own load balancer. Okay. You just have to go and there are some steps you can create the load balancer. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and see a simple demo. Okay. So I have my load balancer open, but I will not go to load balancer first. Let's create first server. Okay. So I'm just going and launch EC2. Okay. And just I'm going ahead with test. Number of EC2 instances, what? Two. Okay. Now I'm going to Ubuntu. Okay. And T3 micro, that's fine. And let's go to test. So this key pair, I told you what is this? Network settings. I am going ahead and giving my own security group. So this security group, I hope you should not ask any question to me. Okay. Because this security groups, all I have told you in the last sessions. So please recap everything if you are forgetting. Okay. Because AWS, if you just leave it for 10 days, you'll forget everything. So launch these two instances. Okay. So this I am launching. Okay. Now what I will do, as I told you, I will deploy a web page. Okay. So for that, what you need a web server. Okay. You have to install a web server, as I told you. Without web server, can you host? No, you cannot. Okay. So I will just go ahead and let it be 3 by 3. Okay. Status checks. I don't know why it used to take time now. Actually, mine is a paid account. Actually, I've not paid the bill also. Still, because it came around 1000 something. Okay. So I'm creating in front of you right now. So from next session, what I'll do, I'll make it ready always. Okay. At least whatever the things you know, because it will not waste your time. Okay. My time as well. Just because you are the early learners, I am just doing it in front of you. So that every time you will see, you can recall it like how I'm creating the instance. Okay. So let's go ahead. Okay. Anyways, we can connect also. That's fine. So I can connect. What I will do, I will not connect here. I'll connect with the SSH directly. So let me go to CMD. Okay, let me go to downloads directly. So here my test.pem file is there. I'm just going ahead. Yes. Okay. So I'm just putting it to root user. Now I will install a what? I will install a web server. So for Ubuntu, there is a very famous web server called Apache 2. Okay. So we'll go ahead and install Apache 2. Okay. So Apache 2 software is to be directly present here. Okay. So just you have to. So this time, if you see, I'm not doing yum install because yum is the package manager for Linux. For Ubuntu, what is this? This is app. Okay. App. I'm just updating my package manager. Now, what is a package manager actually? Package manager is nothing which used to manage your packages because there used to be so many softwares for launching one server, right? All the softwares you can find the links in the yum. Okay. If you just do yum list repo, it will show you the software links as well. Okay. So if you just do the app list, it will show you so many of all the packages, whatever is present. Okay. Mhm. Okay. So next thing is like, let me clear this. Okay. If you just do app list, okay, app list and have grep. So grep is the command. Suppose if you want to search any word, okay, you can search it through grep. Suppose in a sentence I'm writing I live in Kolkata. I want to search the live, whether live is present or not. Okay. So at that time you can use grep hyphen I and the live. Hyphen I, what I am giving, it is case sensitive. It will remove the case sensitiveness. Suppose even if the word is in capital, small, doesn't matter, it will just search it. If you just remove the hyphen I, what it will do, if the case is CASC in capital, you have to give in capital. Otherwise, it will not be able to search. Okay. So if I just go ahead and do Apache, I think the spelling is correct. Apache 2. So many Apache 2 is there. Okay, I can go ahead. Okay. So I'm just installing. Let me clear it again. Up install Apache 2 hyphen y. Okay. So let it get downloaded. Okay. Now I have to start the Apache 2. Okay. So this is the command servers Apache 2. Okay. So we start the Apache 2. You can see the status as well. Okay, it's active running. Now I'll install a web page. So my web page is very lemon. So hope you don't have any issues. So what is the default? Like there has to be some path where your web page should be present. Okay. You cannot go ahead and put your web page in any of the directory. I mean any of the path. So here the default path is cd where www.html. Okay. And here if you see there is one index.html. So what I will do, I will delete this index.html. This is a default page you will see for Nginx. What I will do, I will use my own index.html. Okay. And what I will write here, let's write something. The what I will write here. We are in AWS load balancer tutorial. Okay. Um, Simple one line only. Okay. So and then I'll just go ahead and what I'll do, just let me see if it is there or not. Now this web page is present. If I open this web page, you'll be able to see. How will I open? To the public IP, right? You have the public IP of the server. Let me see. You cannot log in through, I mean, you cannot see through private IP. Okay. Oh, God, this is so irritating. So let me go ahead and see whether it's coming or not, this web page. This site cannot be reached. Why? Because whenever you are hosting any web server, it used to be in some port, right? Whenever you are putting some web server, it has to be in some port. Suppose for login, I need the SSH protocol. So for hosting web page, what you need? You need the HTTP protocol. Okay, and HTTP protocol used to have a default port of 80 or HTTPS. So right now we are not having certificates. I will show the demo also because I have one domain. I can show you the certificate concepts. But HTTPS, you know, right? HTTPS is secured. Why it's secured? Because it has a certificate. Now, what is the certificate? How SSL works? I will take a 15-minute session on this because I don't want to go ahead and show you that how the HTTP works. It becomes HTTP. Okay. So right now, if you see, I don't have a protocol. So how will I open the protocol? How will I give the access that it should host an web page? So what is the firewall for the EC2? We all know, right? What is the firewall for the EC2? It's security groups. Okay. So everything has a security group. And in my case, what is my security group? If you go to security, you will be able to see the security group. Okay. And if you see here, NFS protocol is the HTTP SSH, but there is no HTTP protocol. So we'll add one protocol called HTTP. Okay. Now I have kept the source like if you are if you are trying to, access this URL from anywhere, you'll be able to access. Let me save it. Let me go ahead with this. Okay. Now let me go ahead and again refresh it. Let it refresh. I hope it is done now. Yeah, it's done now. And I hope this is the. Let's get, let me restart it also again. Let's start it now. So, and what is the host name for this? Let me see if this is the same. 172.31. This is also 20. Yeah, this server only. So this server only. We are taking the public IP and let's see it's opening or not. Why it's not opening? We have opened HTTP protocol as well. Strange. It should open actually. Why it's not opening? cd where www.html pwd. I think it will open after some time. Okay, maybe it's taking some time. Okay, because we have done everything correctly. Okay, security groups. HTTP protocol. Let me open one also. TCP also. Why it's always HTTP? Okay, and this is so TCP. I'm just adding because I have to show. Okay, it's already there. That we don't need this. Okay, yeah, good. One second, let me go ahead and hosting incognito. Let me try the caches. So why it is showing HTTPS, HTTP. Okay. Yeah, so I think if you just refresh it, I mean, if you just clear the cache, okay, you'll be able to see. That's why I opened in incognito. So now if you see, we are opening the web page. Okay. So even if you are facing this issue, don't think that your setup has some issue. Sometimes you have to clear the browser, clear the cache. So you just can go ahead and where is the clearing browser? Somewhere. Delete browsing data. Okay. Just go ahead and delete the browsing data. Okay. So that's fine. Okay. Now I will do the same in the other EC2 as well. Same thing I will do. Okay. So the other EC2 is this one, both has test. I think let's change it to name test one so that this okay. And what I will do, I will just go ahead and connect. I will take it and I will just go ahead and in another tab, CD download. Yes. Okay, we'll do the same sudo su apt update hyphen sorry. Hyphen y is like it will always ask for prompt. Yes, 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 you have to type always. Okay, so I am doing whatever it's coming up, just go ahead and download. You don't ask me. So that's why I'm telling hyphen y. It stands for yes. Okay. Automatically it will yes. And I'm just installing Apache 2 here also. Okay, see, it will always ask for what to give. Fine. And now I'll go to cd slash where dot html. Okay, let's remove the index.html page and I'm just opening one more HTML. Okay, and here what I should write? Let's write some other contents. Uh, Today is a very calm day. It's very good weather here. So, okay, so it's done. And now just verify that it's there or not. So yesterday we were not doing cat because we're in the CMD. Okay, CMD you cannot do. But since I have entered into EC2, you will be able to do. Okay, today is very calm day. Okay, now I want to see this. How we can see this? Same concept. Okay, and this time we will not face this because this EC2 is also connected to that security group only. Okay, same security group, which I already did the HTTP traffic. Okay, so this time you will not face this issue. Okay. So let me go ahead and check this. Oh man, let me do in incognito again. Has anyone joined now? Okay, let it open. So today is a very calm day. Okay. So and one is what? One is we are in AWS load balancer tutorial, and one is what? One is again today is a very calm day. So one thing you just came to know, like this two servers contains two different websites, right? One has different cut. How will you recognize? Because it has some different content. It has some different content, right? So what load balancer will do? Now you are opening it individually, all the servers, right? What load balancing will do? Load balancing, load balancer will distribute the traffic in round robin fashion. So if I just attach a load balancer to these EC2s, first request will go to the first EC2, second request will go to the second EC2. If first request is going to the second EC2, then second request will go to the first EC2. So it will oscillate. Okay. Because there are only two instances. Three instances, like it will be like 0, 1, 2, again 3, 4, 5, again 6, 7, 8, like this. Okay. But since this is only two, it will keep on, I mean, load balancing between the two because 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay. So let's see that demo. Okay. So if you see in the EC2 console itself, EC2 dashboard, you have to go to, okay, let me see if someone joined. Hmm, I cannot see anyone. Okay. I thought I got a notification. From where I'm getting, man. But, that's why I do. Okay. So second thing, what you have to do is like, let's create one load balancer. Okay. Now let's go to create a load. So EC2, and then you have to go to where? EC2. In the load balancing section, you have a load balancer. Okay. Create a load balancer. There are three types of load balancer present: application, network, and gateway. I'll tell the difference later. Okay. And you don't, it's not like it's very hard thing. Application is like if you are hosting any website which works on HTTP and HTTPS protocol, you have to go to application load balancer because it will just host the application which whose protocols are HTTP and HTTPS. But in network load balancer, what you have to do is not like you have to have a HTTP HTTPS protocol. TCP protocol and UDP protocol will work here. Okay. So network load balancer will have a static IP address. What is a static IP address? Static, it will not change. Okay. In which case we will use NLB. Those applications which do not need latency, gaming applications. If anywhere it's latency is there, your game will be destroyed fully, right? So, and why you will be using NLB? Why you using ALB? I will first show the demo, then only I will show the difference. Okay. What is the difference practically? Is theoretically I have told. In interview, what you will be asked theoretically only. Okay. So don't worry on that part. But practically you should know, like if I'm using ALB, if I'm using the same NLB for the same application, where can you see the difference? Okay. So we'll see later. So let's give the load balancer name my first load balancer, my first LB. Very much typical name. Don't give this reality. Okay, so it's internet facing and internal facing. There are two options. Okay, now let me go to the diagram back. Sorry. What man? Let me hide this. There's some problem. Okay. Okay, fine. So there are two kinds of load balancer inside the application load balancer, ALB application. Okay. It said that internal and what you said? Internet. Okay. So internet is nothing. It will always see that it is coming, the traffic is coming from the internet, not inside internally. So AWS account is internal, right? But traffic is coming from, suppose my laptop is outside AWS. Okay. So it's coming from outside. Okay. So whatever the outside traffic that is coming apart from the AWS account or the AWS whole setup, so that external load balancer will always sustain. Okay. For that, you need a public subnet. Just remember this word right now. Public, what is a public subnet? What is a private subnet? I will let you know when we'll learn VPC. So external load balancer always needs a public subnet because it is taking the traffic from outside, from public. Okay. And after that, suppose the traffic reaches up to this stage. Now from here it is going to this instance. So is it public or private? It's private, right? Public is us who are outside the AWS. Once the traffic has entered, it's internal. So from this EC2 to this EC2s, if the traffic is coming, then what you need to balance the load? You need an internal load balancer. So for now, how we are accessing the website? We are the external customer. So we need what? A public load balancer. And public load balancer is here is called internet load balancer. What is going on? One second, guys. Some issues. Okay, fine. So what we need right now? We need a internet facing load balancer. Okay, so let me go there. I think it's due to some issues. Not sure, man, what is happening with the laptop. Anyways, wait. Now it's fine. Okay. IPv4, there are two kinds of IP addresses, IPv4, IPv6. We need to know only IPv4. Okay, that's it. And for this, you need always just consider like whenever you are setting up one application load balancer, okay, you need always two subnets. So you must at least select two availability zones. Okay. So this is the ideal case. Why two availability zones? Because sometimes it happens what a load balancer node will be placed in each selected zone, automatically scale in response to traffic. Load balancer routes traffic to target the selected availability zone only. So actually, whenever you are hosting a load balancer, actually what it is a server. Okay. AWS is managing those all those in the background. Okay. So if you choose two availability zones, then high availability will be there. Okay. Each load balancer server will be placed in each availability zone. That's internal. Okay. You can choose one also. Okay. So I am selecting, you can choose more than two also. Okay. So this helps. Like suppose uh, your server is in US East one. So it can distribute the traffic in all the availability zones. So I'm selecting everything. That's better because I don't know. So one thing is like for setting up ALB, you need the name. You need to check the scheme. Okay, internet or internal. Then the network thing, you have to choose at least two availability zones for high availability of the load balancer. Okay, so that one zone, if it goes down, other will be up always. Okay. And the security groups. So security group, I will be choosing my security group itself. Okay. So what security group? Can security group be attached to a load balancer? Yes, security group can be attached to load balancer. Security group can be attached to EC2s as well. So what it will define? So suppose I am hitting the website. So where the first request will go? Request will hit the load balancer first, right? And load balancer should have some firewall that it should always allow the traffic which is authentic. For now, what I have kept the authenticity, all internet, everyone 0.0.0 by 0. So everyone can access. So actually it should not be there. Okay. Until unless your what do you say? Until unless your application is public, like citibank.com, then you have to keep the uh, traffic as 0.0.0 by 0 because it is used by all customers. After that, you can put some security firewalls as well. Okay. For now, I'm keeping this as only security groups. Okay. Next is like listener. Okay. Now, what is a listener? So every ALB has to be a listener, or every load balancer used to have listeners. Okay. And if you just go to info, you'll be able to see is what a listener is. When you add a listener, you specify a rule for routing request. This rule forwards request to a target group that you specify. Okay. So a listener is a process that checks for connection requests using the port and the protocol. Okay. So as I told you in the architecture, if I go, okay, the traffic is going to elastic load balancers. Okay. From elastic load balancers, it is going to EC2 instances. So where the listener will sit between EC2 and load balancing. Here the listeners will check for the connection request between the two. Okay. There is some protocol that it will check the connection request between the two. If it is not happening, it will stop. So listener, you can say like it's not a firewall, it's a protocol actually. Okay, which used to check the connection request. Now how it will check? Let's go ahead. Okay, so I have given the protocol is HTTP. It should listen for the HTTP port. Okay, forward to target groups. Okay, so what are the target groups? Okay, so let me create a target groups. Okay, so my target, what is target group is what? Target group is the target. Okay, so what is my target here? Target is the EC2. From load balancing, the listener will check the connection request between EC2 and the load balancer with the target of EC2. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and our target type is instances. You can keep the target as IP addresses. Then again, you have to give the private IP addresses. Okay, and target group name, uh, my EC2 instances. Very vague name. Don't give such kind of name. What it will check? It will check for the HTTP protocol. In port 80, it should listen. Okay. And health checks, I'm just putting it slash. Why I'm putting a slash? I'll just let you know when I'll give you the path-based writing. So these are the available instances in the targets. So you have to register these targets. You just have to click here. Okay. And you have to select like ports for the selected instances. So which port I have to check? I have to check the web page, right? I have to distribute the load to the web page. And web page is listening on what port? HTTP 80 port. Protocol is HTTP and the port is 80. Okay. Include as pending below. So now your targets are registered. Okay. So these are available. You can register just one target also, but I'm registering all the targets. Okay. Now it's next. Now I'm going ahead, create the target group. Okay. So zero healthy, zero unhealthy because two unused. Still it's unused. I have registered the targets, but is it used? No, it's still unused because target group is not configured to receive traffic because I have not yet registered the target group here. Now I can go ahead and refresh it. Now you'll be able to see my EC2 instances target. Now if I go and forward to my target groups. So this CloudFront, WAF, all things I'm leaving right now. I'm not attaching everything because you need to know all these things. So when I will take the sessions on the security part, I'll go ahead and will show all the demos. What is WAF? What is CloudFront? What is Global Accelerator? We'll see the demo. Just now it's a simple demo. So it's going and creating the load balancer. Okay, so let's go to load balancer. It's provisioning until unless it's provisioned, you cannot see. So finally, you have set up your load balancer, and in practical scenario, whatever the hands-on you are doing here, you'll not be doing so much hands-on in real scenario because the load balancers will be available in the companies what you will go. So you are doing it from scratch. This kind of things you'll not do in the company. Okay, you'll never do. So if you learn all these things, it's very easy for you to understand the things. Okay. So if you see in the network mapping, you'll be able to see, you'll be able to see nothing. Okay. So if you go to resource map, you'll be able to see here. Okay. So if you see my HTTP listener is there, which used to listen the from load balancer, it is listening on the HTTP port, and then it is what forwarding to target group, and our target group is my EC2 instances, which has two targets, this and this. Okay, it's in progress still. So very simple resource map. If you are able to, this is a very good thing which is given by AWS, where you can see the whole flow. Okay, you can export it, you can do it, all these things. Simple thing you can do. These are some attributes. Okay, packet handling, you don't have to do cross load, cross zone load balancing is by default no. So what do you mean by cross zone load balancing? It's like suppose if one of your EC2 instances in US East 1A, if one of your other EC2 instances US East 1B. So if you don't enable cross zone load balancing, it will not be able to distribute the traffic in different availability zones. Okay. Suppose if your um, load balancer is in 1C, then the instance has to be in 1C if you don't enable this. By default, it's enabled in ALB. You don't have to do anything. Okay. But in NLB, you have to enable it. Okay. And protection, delete protection, deletion protection. You can keep it on. Okay. You can just edit it so that no one can delete it. Okay. To prevent your load balancer from deleted accidentally. Sometimes it happens, right? You can people think this is a test load balancer and they used to delete it. Okay. Someone is testing also. In production, no one has the dare to delete, but in testing environment, they can delete it. So it's active now. It's active. Fully active. Now I will go and see the source map and I'll see that it's healthy. Is the instance healthy? I mean, no. I mean, instance, the targets are healthy that it can distribute the traffic. Okay. If you go to load balancers again, sorry. If you go to details, sorry, listeners and rules, you'll be able to see the listeners. Your listeners are HTTP. So, what it contains, ALB. So, ALB contains what is the heart of the ALB? It's listeners. Okay. Because it sits between your what? It sits between your target and the load balancer. Until unless you set up a listener, the traffic will not hit the targets directly. A listener will only listen to the target groups what you have created, right? Listener, you can consider it's one kind of server. It's not actually firewall, which is it's one kind of server which is listening on the protocol of 80 only. Okay. So this is the thing. And if you go to the my EC2 instances target group, here you will be see whether it's healthy or not. So two were healthy, zero is unhealthy. Okay. So earlier it was not showing. Okay. Now the traffic will be distributed. If I hit it, it should open the page, right? So let's go ahead. Now I will not hit it through the server. I will hit it through the load balancer. So I'll get the DNS from somewhere. So this is the load balancer. This is the ARN. This is a DNS name actually. Okay. So don't get confused between ARN and different. So if I just go ahead and hit it, let's see where it goes. Okay, go ahead and put in new incognito. That's better rather than hitting it. Okay, continue to site. So we are in the server. It's hitting that server which is hosting this website, AWS Load Balancer tutorial. So if I hit it again, it should not hit this because round robin fashion. You remember? If the first request will go to the first server, second request will always go to the second. Third request will go to the third. If third is not present, it will again go to the first. It will keep oscillating. So if I just hit it again, it's going to this server. If I just hit it again, it's going to this server. It will never be the same always. Okay. Now it's hitting both the servers. You understand, right? So I have done so much things. The bottom line is, to create a load balancer, you need the servers, you need the listeners, and for listeners, you have to create the target groups. Target groups will contain the target. Okay. So the request will go to the load balancer first, then it will hit the listeners, and the listeners will route the traffic to its particular target groups. Okay. And through this, you can verify. Okay.